All right, gonna do a oil change here on a 5.7 liter V8 Toyota Tundra. Just took the cap off. We can see on here that cap shows 0W20, so that's what we're gonna use it. And I'm gonna guide y'all through the steps. So I took the cap off, relieved the pressure. Here's what I'll be using. Found this new at Walmart the other day, so happy to try it out. I'll let y'all know how it works. Also got this so first step, 14 millimeter to loosen that up right there. That's your oil. So loosen that up, let it drain. Should be about 8 quarts. Already started to drip a little bit. I'll loosen it up, so stay tuned. All right, letting it drain. So we'll be done when it's done draining. I'll be right back. All right, so for the most part, we're just gonna let that finish draining out. Filled up a whole 6 quart, and I had that beside me right there, an old bottle to put some into, because this thing holds 8.5 quarts, guys, so it's quite a bit. We'll let that finish draining, and I'm gonna start working on this skid plate right here. Skid plate, I gotta take that off to get to the oil filter. It's a couple screws, hex bolts, I think they're 10 millimeters up in there. Take the skid plate off because this is 4-wheel drive, and actually missing one right there. So take that off while that's dripping. I'll replace that bolt after I clean it up. I'll be right back. All right, so you do need a 10 millimeter. I already took that out. Took that out. And took that out. Those are 10 millimeters. It just brings this flap down a little bit, so it gives you some room. But you're gonna need, there's another hole up here. One big bolt that holds the back of this skid plate. It's a 12, so it's actually a little different than those on the front. This is a 12 millimeter for this skid plate. Still letting that oil get out. So I'm gonna drop this skid plate real quick. All right, there she is, got the skid plate off, and it gives you access to all this underneath, especially that right there. That's what you need for taking the filter out. You need space to get to that. So we're gonna get the tool for the filter and take that off. So I did forget one little thing. You do have to take this off first. Not much is gonna come out, but it comes with a plug with the filter that you poke up in there to let some of this stuff drain out. Let's see if I can get the thing. This little thing right here goes up in there after I take that metal part out. This goes up in there to drain it. I'll show you. All right, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this. Just a little bit of oil coming out, pretty much done. Plug this up. Clean it off with a rag and retighten it. And again, that's a 14 millimeter. So just tighten it snug with the 14 millimeter, and now I'm gonna go finish this other part with the filter. All right, I removed that metal piece, and now this plug goes up in there. To help drain the rest of that out of there. Makes it a lot easier. It doesn't really make a mess with the oil filter, which is really nice on this Toyota. Some of these things are A little more complicated with the Toyota, but some of them are a lot nicer. So 2018 4x4 5.7 liter Tundra V8. Now I got to get in there and take that housing off and get the filter out, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to be using this filter wrench right here, and it goes up there, loosens it off, and get the filter out and take a look at it. All right, so that's what it looks like when you get the housing taken off, and this filter just comes out of here, pops out like that, and you put the new one down in there with a new O-ring, and we'll clean that out and we'll put it back up in there. But yeah, this one needed replacing, because here's what the good one looks like. That's a good one, so I'm gonna change that out. Here's the two O-rings that come with it, so don't forget about those, because you have to replace those on your housing over here. One goes right here, one goes down on the inside, so you gotta remember to replace those O-rings. All right, new filter in, new O-ring right there, new O-ring right there around the gold. So those two O-rings went right there. New filter, taking her back up. Right back in the spot. Right back up there. And then we'll use the tool to tighten it down, not too hard. Then we'll put that metal piece, cover that back up. So I'm gonna tighten this down with that metal tool. Get that thing right there, the cover on there too, and then we'll be done with that, and we'll be able to fill her up with oil. 8.5 quarts. All right, so we've got all the oil drained, and 8.5 quarts, 0W20 for the Tundra. About to refill it, 0W20. So here we go. It's going in 8.5 quarts. All right, finishing up this first. Then we're gonna go put the rest of the 3.5 in there. And then we're gonna be done. We'll check our oil level in just a minute. After we get these last couple quarts in there, we'll check it, run it for a few seconds, and check the dipstick. So, all right, put 8.5 quarts in it exactly, like on the number. Put the skid plate back on. Now we're gonna check this. I can't get it in focus. Just above that last. Man, this is being a pain. Just above the last notch. So it's in the okay zone, but I'm gonna take it for a drive. And let me see this. There we go. It's right above that first notch on the right, which in between the two dots is considered safe. I am towards that bottom end, so I'm going to take it for a drive and probably check it again and maybe add like 1/2 quart, just a little bit of a drop. I mean, but it's technically safe right there. So go through it again. Let's see, you drain it with that plug, 14 millimeter, drain all the oil. You got to remove the skid plate to get to the oil filter. Remove the filter, put you a new filter on there. After that, all the oil is usually done out of the drain pan. You can close that back up with that 14 millimeter, put the skid plate back on. Then put your oil in right there. 8.5 quarts, come check it right here. And that's about it. It's real simple, easy do it yourself. Let me know if you'll have any questions, concerns, something I should have done better, worse. Let me know if this helped, and subscribe for future videos. Thank you.